4 drivers starting in the top 10 today looking for their first career victory. Front row, Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain. You see the race analysis, 14 laps in the opening stage. We are green at Circuit of the Americas.
Turn 1, this is what it's all about. You see cars going 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, barreling down into turn 1.
Yes.
Can I get a 6? Can I get a 7?
Oh my goodness.
You're going to get a lot of contact on the exit, and then you want to try to get single file as quick as you can up front. But back here, this is a hornet's nest.
And this is where it gets tight. This is where Coleman was talking about. You want to get single file if you're here, because 2 wide is very slow. Other cars will catch you quickly, but you want to get that position.
We understand the start is under review, so we might go back and take a look at that. We'll await word from NASCAR. In the meantime, Ross Chastain jumps out of the 92, grabs the top spot, and our pole sitter Ty Gibbs falls in line in second.
Yeah, when you got a good rhythm going early, you can start to check out, and that's what Chastain's trying to do. But Ty Gibbs, the kid, just continues to impress. And then everybody back there, this is it, turn 11. This is where a lot of passes happen, but you got to get that run down the back straightaway, right, Joe?
This is what you're talking about. The car on the bottom may have position right here, but that run down this straightaway, those cars coming off the top side have more momentum. And they got, I don't know, how long is this straightaway? It feels like a mile long. You got a ton of time to try to keep that momentum and get a position into the heavy braking zone you see right here, turn 12, as you cross onto that new asphalt. They just repaved parts of this racetrack.
0.6 of a mile. You basically go from 40 miles per hour turn 11 up to 170 to turn 12, and then back down to first gear. Here's the start, and being posted here back in the pack is the 28 of Patrick Gallagher. You can't pull out a line before the start finish line.
Yeah, that's one of those NASCAR rules. It's tough when you come from other different motorsports to just follow the protocol early. You like see guys checking up, you can't go there. You guys kind of stay in line.
91, Preston Pardus. Great effort in qualifying earlier today. The team car to our race leader.
See some damage on the 8 there of Josh Berry a minute ago. Right on the nose.
They had a tough time in practice and qualifying yesterday. Josh, an old late model racer, doesn't exactly translate to a place like this. And there's his teammate. That's Miguel Paludo.
Yeah, sometimes it clicks with road racing, and then sometimes it doesn't. You have to work your way through it. But Josh Berry, he's a talented guy. He'll finesse his way up with finding the traction and finding the speed. But this is just a braking zone down into 12, and lots of cars in one spot. And then it's like, oh, there. That was nothing of his doing.
Yeah, and that's just, it's close quarters. You know, this track has parts that feels like a speedway road course. Wow, look at the damage on the 8. And then I was saying there's other parts where it's like a short track road course where you're going, like we said, 40 miles an hour through some of these corners. So the cars really get stacked up on top of each other. All it takes is one driver to make a mistake, and you're stacked up on the car in front of you, and you knock the nose off.
Is this a balance of Watkins Glen and Sonoma? I mean, because that's kind of what we talk about. Though Sonoma more of a short track road course, Watkins Glen more of a speedway. Is this merge the two together? Is that fair?
Absolutely. And then you could throw in Road America, where you have really long straightaways and some tight corners. But man, it's just, again, there's so much that this track offers for slow speed, high speed stuff.
Stephen Parsons off track in the 99.
And, you know, to play off of some of that a little bit more, it makes it very challenging for the crew chiefs to set up the race car here, because you have fast parts and slow parts. And here you see the 99 just sliding off right through the S's there. Don't know if there's contact or not.
Yeah, turn 6 is tough. It's off camber. You're trying to get it back to the right, and you're always hanging out loose. It's real easy to lose it through there. But yeah, again, like all the road courses have their unique personalities, and then they have their braking zones that you have to charge hard. Then they have the finesse zones. A driver is super busy on road courses, and when you find that right rhythm, then all parts of the track seem to talk to each other, and then it's not so stressful.
Well, on top of that, there's places that they repaved the racetrack in parts that's on old asphalt. So you're going through different grip levels on top of that. So you're bouncing off curves like you see AJ coming off here in turn 19 into turn 20. Over those curves, grabs that downshift to first. Got to get some more curves on the exit here. He does it. Now you see Ty in front of him did grab a bunch of curve on the exit.
Multiple ways of getting around the racetrack, and sometimes it's off of tire wear too. You might change up your game when the tires start to drop off.
You mentioned the nuances of a road course and some of the changes that have taken place here. Rhythm is so big too, and you go back to last year. 3 of the top 5 and 3 of the top 4 today are drivers that are doing double duty. One of them, Cole Custer, an opportunity to find that rhythm early in the race.
And look at his heart rate already, 145, 150 beats per minute. I mean, he's working in there, right? And it's going to be like that the whole race.
The big thing is not the 140, the 150. His baseline is 70, so it is very much elevated in the early stages, Regan.
Well, Adam, early on, tough break for Josh Berry, somebody that we expect to be up front every week in this Xfinity Series, making his first start today at COTA, but damage early on. The team finally decided they had to pit to get some Barabond down there and fix this up so that he could continue on.
You know, I guess if you're going to have a problem, have it early, number one. And number two, the laps here are so long, you can make an extended stop, maybe stay on the lead lap. And with all the strategies and perhaps more damage for other cars, the door could be open for success later on. Parker Kligerman in the 35.
I had something I've never had, severe cramping in my arm. So just give me some Pedialyte for the first stop, please.
So Parker Kligerman doing double duty. He's running both the truck race earlier today and now the Xfinity race. Had issues with his cool suit. So he's got a whole lot going on. Kind of a scary situation as Justin Allgaier goes sliding.
Yeah, Klingerman set up for double duty and then had that cool shirt malfunction. He's got a long road to hoe here, and I hope he makes it all through all right.
And hydration means so much in our sport. And when you're running 2 races at a time, that's big. Let's see what happened here to
Clink.
Justin Allgaier. His teammate.
Clink.
Uh-oh.
You know, none of the cars from Junior Motorsports finished where they should have last week. They weren't satisfied. They've been so good early this year. Maybe seeing some early frustrations. I gotta go is the mentality right now.
Well, it's not a real long race, right? 46 laps. It's a long track. It's 3.41 miles. But it's just not that many laps. There's not much opportunity to beat him on pit cycles and things like that. You got to go. He needs to get past for the lead.
Gonna throw it in there? He sure did. And Chastain gave him plenty of room. Ty Gibbs outbreaks him into turn 1.
He was very patient, the 19-year-old. Waits for his opportunity to pounce, and we have a new leader in Austin, Texas. Ty Gibbs is out front in the 54. How about the guy now running second, Jamie?
Yeah, great start for Ross Chastain in the 92. I just chatted with him before he got in the car. He's like, this deal came together on Monday. He's like, anytime somebody asks me to drive their race car on Saturday, heck yes, I'm in. He said, I'm just happy turning laps, and it certainly helps as he continues to get pressure from behind. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger.
Mario Gosselin, the car owners, got 2 in the top 5. Chastain, who is second. Alex Labay is 5th. And this is quite the battle at the front. Throw a blanket over the top 3 right now.
Oh, yeah, he's throwing it into turn 11, trying to get the lead back.
Ross doesn't give up.
No. He is a blue-collar farmer boy from Florida. He's going to keep digging.
Do you recommend going through the grass off turn 11?
Why not? It's lap 4. Let's go. And AJ's sitting back there saying, which lane do I pick? They're going to try to outbrake each other like crazy down to the 12.
Oh, he thought about it for a second. He's getting in the mirror, getting in their heads.
I was rooting for 3 wide into 12. I really was.
Might be a little early. Later in the race, I'm pretty sure that move happens. We saw that happen in the truck race.
You think he's going to throw it in there on this? This is the tight first gear section. It's so easy to lose traction through here. And AJ goes, ha-ha, I was waiting for this moment.
He said, Merry Christmas. And
2
took
for
it.
1. That's a 2-for-1er.
A.J. Allmendinger, how do you like me now?
That's
the best ever on road courses in the Xfinity Series.
That's that road course knowledge to know these two are just going to wash out, and I'm going to carve underneath them.
And he's fast, too. I've been watching his lap times, and he's been keeping up with these guys, but he's actually been catching them the last few once his tires pumped up with air, it seems like.
Yeah, this is that transition point of raw speed, and now things turn into what do you have for the long run speed. Love it. I think we've got an overhead shot. This is going into 12, right, Joey? And just the way he's watching this, the way he got in the mirror and try to juke with him. Now take it from here, Joe.
Yeah, he's just setting him up right here, and he's watching the 54 go in there really shallow, knowing he's going to need a bunch of racetrack. Whoop, whoop. Thank you. See you later.
That was like a Texas two-step with the 54 and 92, and 16 said, nah, bye-bye.
There's a Texas reference.
Did you like that?
Right there.
Was that clean? That was a bit pushed. It was a little forced.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
The fight is on.
What's going on here? Closing on the halfway point, stage 1 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Circuit of the Americas. It is the Pit Boss 250 live on FS1. And Fox Corporation has helped raise more than $12 million for the American Red Cross to support their mission of providing aid and resources, including food, water, medical supplies, and housing support to people in Ukraine and those who have been forced to leave their homes. You can join the effort with the Red Cross. Donate by visiting redcross.org/FoxForward or by scanning the QR code at the bottom of your screen. Did you say Ross Chastain doesn't go away? Because I think Ty Gibbs playing by the same rules here.
Yes, and he is, we've said this already, he's racing one of the best here at AJ Allmendinger. And I thought AJ was going to drive away. Not the case. Ty Gibbs obviously able to keep making speed. These guys didn't get much laps in practice, right? It's something we got to remember, that these drivers are still getting better as they figure out the racetrack, the little nuances, what their car can and can't do. There's not much time to practice these days, so when you come to a track like this, there's a little bit of cat and mouse when someone gets out front and you see where they're stronger than you, and as a driver, you can adjust to that.
Yeah, you cannot pay for this knowledge that Ty Gibbs is getting right now. It's following one of the best in road racing, and he's close enough to see every little move. It's things that I did early in my career at road courses. If it was Tony Stewart in front of me or Jeff Gordon, I tried to do the best I could to stay pace with them.
Just behind them, outside the top 5, you have Sheldon Creed driving that 2 car for Richard Childress Racing, and the battle is on now for 8th. Daniel Hemrick in the 11, and Creed's teammate Austin Hill driving the 21, earlier winner this season at Daytona.
And you like that pass down into turn 1. You know, he's able to get, good position. Now he's on the outside of turn 2, able to clear Hemrick into the S's and keep that momentum and really not lose much time making the pass. That's something you want to be able to be good at when it comes to road courses. Be efficient with your passing. Be able to pass someone without losing a bunch of time to the next car in front of you.
That and creating you a position where you're vulnerable for the next type of passing zone and get passed back.
The leaders, they just don't want to leave each other alone here. Coleman, what are you seeing from the spotter stand?
Yeah, a few things are standing out right here in turn 1 and through the S's. AJ Allmendinger, I spotted for him for 5 years. There's not many people that beat him on the brakes. I've seen Ty Gibbs the last few laps going into turn 12, going into turn 1, out-braking AJ. We see it right now trying to happen. Other thing I noticed, AJ's really strong in the right-handers. If you look at the right-handers switching direction to turn 2 as well as a carousel, that's where he's gapping himself. But not too far behind. Cole Custer just ran 3/10 better than these leaders, so I think he's going to be a mover coming.
That is what COTA is all about. I mean, the way you make a pass on somebody and then you're now offline going into the next corner. These F1 style design tracks challenge you in so many ways. It's tough to really define your racer craft at a place like this.
Absolutely, and there's strengths and weaknesses. You got 3 miles, over 3.5, almost 3.5 miles to have strong points and weaknesses on the racetrack. And like Coleman says there, right-handers are working good for AJ. That means left-handers probably aren't real good. His, Ty Gibbs' braking is incredible. We've seen that happen a few times where that is definitely where he's making all his time in the braking, which is very impressive to AJ, considering how good AJ is on these racetracks. So, you have strengths and weaknesses. You got to play them the whole time, and as a competitor, you want to know those, right? You want eyes in the sky that can tell me where the strengths and weaknesses are of your competitor. Here comes the braking zone again.
Do it again.
He's going to get him this time. Now here comes a crossover, possibly.
You think AJ's got anything for him back here? Now he'll be on the outside in turn 2. He's there. And now they're going to have to decide who's going to be the tougher guy going into 3. Gibbs lost position.
Got him.
This is great, right?
And then now it's all about keeping that gap for Ty Gibbs. He wants to keep the gap to the 16 because the next passing zone is going to be down in the turn 11. So he's going to go through the S's here. It's going to be fun to watch him try to stay close. And then he's going to try to outbrake him here in a few more turns.
7 is a left-hander. 8 is this long right-hander. You're setting up for turn 9. Here they come into 9.
This is where the passing zone starts. You see AJ got a little bit offline. Now Ty is right where he wants to be. He's going to get through this little kink right here into a heavy braking zone, turn 11.
I think he's just going to chill out on this one. See what he can do for the exit here to position for turn 12. But look, here come those boys. They're coming back. Chastain and Custer reeling them in just slowly, bit by bit.
He's going to have another shot here. He's going to draft him down the straightaway. The draft's definitely going to come in. And he's going to try to outbrake him one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's going to be all over him here. He's got to make the move.
You know, he's probably going to try to overdrive again. There he goes.
Shark
Looking
Week. You
inside.
can just hear it. Dun, 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 dun. All right, now is he going to cross back over? Oh, he missed the corner. He gave it back to him.
Still out there for now.
My goodness, these guys are putting on a great show here early on.
The racing has been phenomenal, and we shouldn't be surprised with these two at the front combined to win 5 of the last 8 on road courses. The cars have won 7 of the last 8. Who do you like, Allmendinger or Gibbs? They've combined to lead the first 7 laps at COTA. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing at Circuit of the Americas for the 2nd time. And let's be honest, when we came here last year, there was no one that had any fun except your brother Kyle, who just waxed the field. Today, pure entertainment because the top 4 cars all hanging together. This has been incredible racing in the opening stage.
And I'm seeing different lines. I'm seeing different tire wear and different lap times from these guys. Look at this. We got Custer. And he just
he drove her in there.
Blew his doors off when he went by. That's all right, Chastain. I'm just picking on you.
Your guy Coleman said he was the driver to watch, the 07.
And he's been fast in the Cup car. Last time he was in this 07 car was in Fontana. Won the race.
Driving for Bobby Dotter, one of the great underdog stories of all time in the Xfinity Series. For him to work so hard and stay with it as an owner, they get that win. They have an alliance with Stewart-Haas Racing. And Cole not just fast here, very fast earlier today in Cup Series qualifying. Certainly a driver to watch tomorrow on Fox. You know, you go back, look at Bubba Wallace. I mean, Bubba Wallace has worked from 15th to 6th. The back portion of the top 10 has got some drivers that are on the move.
This is the strongest Xfinity race we have seen when it comes to a driver lineup. When you get these Cup guys come down to the Xfinity level, trying to get experience for tomorrow's race, more laps on this racetrack. Remember, last year, the Cup guys didn't get any laps in the dry. It was raining the whole time. So this race is ultra valuable for everybody that's racing tomorrow. And you're going to see because of that, those guys are good. The Sunday racers are really good. And they're going to be up there battling for a win for sure.
Allgaier hanging in is 13th after going for that slide earlier. Here's something else to watch. 5 to go in the stage. You get down 3 to go, you could see drivers peeling off to make a scheduled stop.
I see where you're going with
So
this.
that for those drivers that don't, they pit at the end of the stage, you can kind of flip the field and gain some track position. So many different agendas, but that's something to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, and crew chiefs are going to hold their strategy close to their chest. They won't even tell our pit reporters on what strategy they're looking to throw down. So with Allmendinger and Gibbs, I would say they're going for stage win, stage points, right, for the season-long run. Custer and Chastain, hey, I may as well pit before the end of the stage break and jump ahead of these guys.
Well, when you're trying to call the race, if you are the 54 or the 16 of Allmendinger, you know the Cole Custer and Ross Chastain, they're going to pit, probably to 36 as well. Those guys are going to say, this is my chance to win. I'm going to just give up the stage points and try to flip the field and end up back in the lead when it starts the second stage. It's a tough call for Allmendinger and Gibbs. I think you flip the stage as well. They're so far ahead, they're still going to finish in the top 10 most likely.
Let's go down to Jamie.
And Cole Custer in the 07, you guys talked about him. He's here just to collect a trophy, as you said, but also gain experience. He said this is such a high-braking, heavy-pressure racetrack. It's really helping him on the Cup side. Meanwhile, though, he said this car is so good on the long run. He's getting better as they run, but listen for them to pit in the next lap or 2 for Custer.
Pit road will close with 2 laps to go in the stage. So if you're going to play this strategy, you're going to have to do it soon. How about the race leader, Regan?
Well, Adam had that conversation that you and Joey were speaking about earlier today with A.J. Allmendinger about if they would take the points or if they would try and flip the stage to make it better for the second stage. He said, we will take the points. We did it last year. If we can get them this year, we want to take them. Stage 2, another story. We'll have to think about it when that gets there.
That's a good point, Regan. You know, take it at the first stage, take your lumps, start in the back, work your way up. You have the whole race to make up the difference. If you do it in the second stage, it's going to be a little harder to make it up with not as much time.
There's always been this theory, though, if you're going to win on a road course, you don't pit at stage end. You got to do it out of balance with the stages, right, to make sure you've got perfect track position. But AJ, who has 7 wins in the Xfinity Series on road courses, has also won 9 stages in this style of competition, so he can do both.
Yeah, he's a utility man. You can put him to work, and he will come from behind and get you another stage win if everything's hooked up right. But I saw something back there. I mean, he's my teammate in Cup, but he was starting to show up in the screen. 5th, Bubba Wallace is our 2nd biggest mover from the start of the race. I'm proud of him. He's throwing down some road course talent.
He can't road race, right? He can't road race.
Well, look at this, guys. We're 11 laps into this thing, almost 12 laps. And 1, 2, 3 is bumper to bumper to bumper.
Yep.
This is awesome racing.
Yeah, Chastain dropped off the lead group. Here's Bubba trying to reel him back in. And this looks like pit road action.
There you go.
Jason Ratcliffe is the crew chief. He's a veteran. He's won so many times. Not surprised to see them playing the strategy game. Here's Bubba Wallace with 3 to go in the stage. Regan.
Adam, it's been a very good start for Bubba Wallace to this race so far. Obviously, he wanted to gain experience. Check that box already. Now getting a good finish is going to be the next part of that. The team's been giving him a lot of updates about where he can pick up a little bit of time and how he can get better. Right now, that race car just needs a little bit of forward grip and lateral drive, meaning the back sliding too much for him. And the 9 car of Noah Gragson, he's going to hit pit road as well. That race car just simply too loose for him, sliding the back tires and can't get the power down on it.
Noah qualified outside the top 10, drove it up to 8th, I think is as high as he was in the running order. But Luke Lambert, the crew chief, said, we're not worried about stage points. Let's go ahead and pit, try to gain some track position later. And this is the race for second. Cole Custer took it away from Ty Gibbs. Gibbs is coming back. This is outstanding off of turn 11.
And here you go again, Coda showing up as far as you beat somebody to the corner. It looks like Cole kind of eased off from there, but this is awesome on how these 3 are so close. And right now, between the 3, I couldn't pick a winner.
And, you know, they're racing this hard, and most likely 1 or 2 of them is probably going to pit in the next lap. And they're still trying to get it.
Sheldon Creed makes his pit stop.
It's like an F1 battle. It's that in-lap and out-lap that can decide if you've got track position.
Absolutely.
Look at this. They ripped it off. I don't think you're going to need the wiper, actually.
That took away so much downforce.
I was going to ask you that.
Those windshield wipers. They direct air to the rear spoiler. Sometimes that happens.
regardless of the weather forecast, you have to have the wiper on when you go through inspection. Then you can do whatever you want. Most teams, though, I hear that downforce word a lot. They like the wiper on the car. Ooh. And here we go, pit stops.
For P2 and P3. Allmendinger's just going to walk the dog in for this stage win, but let's go to pit road and get some updates from Jamie.
Well, Kurt, such a great view right there, riding on board with Cole Custer in the 07. Needs some better drive off, so air pressure adjustment already happened. 4 tires here, they'll give him some fuel. And the 92, Ross Chastain holding it down there in the top 5. His car is pretty good. They're just going to work on that just a bit. Tight to the right and lefts as well. And the 54 of Ty Gibbs, car has been good. He has been so focused. Air pressure out of both rear tires, waiting on fuel. It's a good stop, guys.
You know, it's interesting to watch who's pitting and who's not, because we felt like the drivers not going for points were the ones that would come. We've seen that, but we've also seen some series regulars make stops here that maybe we didn't anticipate. And here's what you talked about, Kurt. I mean, he can run this thing in neutral almost and come back to the green-white checkered flag, talking about Allmendinger.
Yeah, he's got a 13-second lead, and then with Hemrick, Klingerman, Pardis, Allgaier, you're going to start to see some of the regulars go, hey, you know what? I'm going to grab some stage points right now, because it's a cushion that you can use later in the summer run to the playoffs.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? And, you know, something I thought was interesting, leaving pit road, how far ahead Ty Gibbs was over the other 2 cars that pitted with him, Ross Chastain and Cole Custer. And I wouldn't call them, I guess I'd call them underfunded teams. Teams that don't normally have the speed to race up front. They normally don't have the pit crew to pit with those type of guys. So you definitely want to take your lumps now. If you know your pit stop's not going to be that fast, pit under green so you don't lose as much. If you do that under caution and you lose that much time on pit road, you're talking 15 spots. So pit now, take the lumps. You're going to cycle right behind the 54 when you start off again.
Or pit and then come back and get stage points, which is what Ty Gibbs is going to do. He's 10th right now, despite the fact that they made their pit stop. It speaks to how good the pit stop was and also the advantage they had before they came down the pit lane.
Yeah, that's the lap times that they just kept cranking and cranking and cranking, and now they're that far ahead of Snyder, Alfredo, Herbst, and so that will put a point right back on the box for Gibbs, and he might get up to the 51 and the 26 by the end of the stage.
And they earned that. But they earned, like you said, Kurt, by going fast. They earned that to be able to pit and still get a point. Maybe more.
Yeah.
By the end of this.
That's where the talent level and the crew chief, they come together and they make things happen in a unique way.
Final lap opening stage. A.J. Allmendinger trying to win stage 1 for a 2nd consecutive season here in Austin, Texas. He did it last year and went on to finish 2nd to Kyle Busch in the race. It'll be the 2nd straight week he's won a stage. Got one last week at Atlanta.
What do you think AJ's heart rate is now? Just chilling.
Yeah, it just dropped by 50.
Yeah, for sure.
Lower than mine,
As soon as those guys pitted, he said, all right, cool, I'll just chill out for a couple laps.
You know, the other thing that's interesting is how the strategy can change throughout the stage depending on your day. I mean, Hemrick's picked up a lot of positions. They said, let's stay out. And I look at Justin Allgaier. I'm not sure what their plan was when the day began, but some of their teammates running for points pitted. They did not. Maybe they feel like this is their opportunity to introduce a strategy that will gain them some track position later in the day and steal some stage points.
Yeah, didn't he go roundy round earlier, Joe?
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's going to grab 5th.
The old 7 did a Leonard Spinnard, as I call him, and he's still back up there. And so that's how the stage points work. So he's going to be able to get something. And now he's, after the stage, he's going to pay the price, right? You got to pay the piper eventually and cycle yourself back up. But it's nice to be able to get some points as we go through the field here. You say Jade Buford, you know, he's going to get some points running 7th. You know, a lot of these guys, these are valuable points for them as they try to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we saw Pardis, and then now we got Parker Chase. Absolutely. I mean, this is their way to kind of just stack stuff up, and he looks like he had his hand out the window. Might be getting a little warm. He's trying to direct some air into that car.
The engine might be warm too. Look at the grill of that thing.
Banged up.
I mean, that's part of how the starts go here. Everything's so congested and you're just trying to stay clean.
Here's A.J. Allmendinger. Turn 19, turn 20. And back to the green and white checkered flag. 10th time in his career he's won a stage on a road course. Alex LeBay is going to finish second. That's his best career finish on a road course in a stage. Hemrick, Kligerman up there in the top 5. Same for Allgaier. Nice start for Pardis and Buford. Parker Chase. Jeremy Clements gets a couple of points, and Ty Gibbs in the top 10 as well. Way to go, AJ. Hard to beat a Saturday afternoon like this. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing in Austin, Texas. First of 6 road course races this year. And that guy, AJ Allmendinger, won the opening stage. You're watching the Pit Boss 250 live on FS1 with a couple of NASCAR Cup Series champions, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano. I'm Adam Alexander. There will be stops here as we wrap up stage 1, but we've already seen a number of drivers come down the pit lane as part of their strategy. We look at our eBay Motors pit performance, and you notice the difference between Ty Gibbs, Cole Custer. That's the reason the 54 finishes the stage inside the top 10 despite a green flag stop, and Cole Custer does not.
But that's why I said if you're Cole Custer, you know, maybe a little bit of time there on the driver, but a lot on the team. And if you know that's going to happen, just pit under green, because you're not going to lose as much as you would if you pitted under caution and everyone's all stacked up on top of each other.
And we saw that a little bit when he won at California. They would lose some ground on pit stops, and then he would get it back in the race car.
So fast to Fontana. How quickly he moved back through the field, fighting the same issues though with the slower pit stops. We talk about how important pit crews are. I mean, I don't think we talk about it enough though. You know, races are won and lost on pit road every single week, whether it's strategy or just how fast you change the tires. How many times, Kurt, does it come down to just that one spot you needed at the end of the race, or, you know, in the middle of the race, losing 2 or 3 spots, that sets everything up completely different for you, for the rest of the race. It is so important. When people say it's not a team sport, it makes me so mad because it's such a huge team to make this thing work.
Oh, it's an incredible team atmosphere when they're training and practicing and going through the videos and the data. I mean, how many driver grades do you get, Joey, when they say your hot pit entry, your hot pit exit, your pit road lights, and then you have these zones all through pit road and where you can lose time and gain time. And then there's into the box and out of the box. There's so much that goes into it, and that's where the drivers are trying to perfect it just as much as the crew.
You saw Bailey Curry on the hook there, bringing him back to pit road. He had an engine issue, so he's done. Will Rogers, the 38, that was the car you saw being pushed down the pit lane. And because of that, pit road is closed, so we'll go around one more time. And that gives us an opportunity to bring in the spotter of the 22 Ford Mustang on Sundays, Coleman Presley, high atop the spotter stand in turn 1.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Hey, I just wanted to run something across to Joey and Kurt. We seen the 54 of Ty Gibbs come off pit road right on the edge of the stage points. What information do you guys need to know, 1, to recognize, hey, stage points is an opportunity, and 2, how far are those guys in front of you, and can you run them down, and do you want to risk burning your tires up? What can you guys do inside the car to make sure we maximize that from the information from the spotters?
You just need to know the gaps. The gaps are so important to know when you come off a pit road, because you don't want to burn those tires up because, like you said, Coleman, you're going to refire on those tires, so you don't want to burn them up. So can I catch that car in front of me? Is it worth that 1 point? Right? If you're Cole Custer, no, it's not worth the point. I'm just going to ride and save my tires. If you're Ty Gibbs, maybe you want to go for that point and get another one. So I think it's kind of, you just want the information, and you need to know as a driver what you're out there to try to accomplish.
Yeah, you nailed it right there. And I think we have some audio from the 54 as far as what they were talking about.
He's going to have to come from P13. We were as good as anybody else in stretching him. He was holding us up for a while. So I think we're just going to give you the gap here when we go back to racing. Make sure you manage that. You're going to take care of the tires as much as possible so you can be as far away from him when that happens. If he gets back through the field, have as much tire left as you need at the end.
That's Chris Gale. He said he's going to have to come from P13, talking about A.J. Allmendinger. So he's done the math. He knows 12 guys have pitted, they'll stay out. And this is where it's really crucial for the 16 to have a good pit stop, because if they have an issue, you're not restarting 13th. You're starting much deeper in the field. Got to really execute here.
Yeah, Labby, Hemrick, Klingerman, Allgaier, Pardis, Buford. That's the group that Allmendinger's trying to make sure that he stays ahead of, off of pit road. That way you're not having to mess with them as you go into turn 1 and all the passing zones.
Hey, the USFL is coming starting April 16th and kicks off with an historic inaugural game as the New Jersey Generals take on the Birmingham Stallions in prime time on both Fox and NBC. You going Generals? You going Stallions?
I'm going to go with the Generals.
I like the Stallions, Italian Stallions.
Ah, yeah. That's the Connecticut and Joey.
The Italian Stallion. That was Rocky Balboa, right?
I feel like I made that up. That should be their new team name.
The Rocky movie.
It's in your blood somewhere.
It is.
Rumor has it you're doing the coin toss for that game.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to play a couple innings, too. Why not?
Regan?
Innings,
whatever it is. What is this sport?
Come on, buddy.
It's football, by the way.
I don't watch hockey that much.
And Regan, FYI, there are no innings in football.
I'm thankful that you've got that figured out now, Adam. I will take that advice very well. Hey, the 9 car of Noah Gregson, a little bit of an issue right now inside that race car very early on for the driver to not be feeling good. Listen to what he's asking for.
Do we have any, nausea medicine? I'm, super nauseous in this thing. Like some Dramamine or something in some water? Yeah, something. Or if you can hand me a pill or something.
Oh, no.
I mean, this place is like a roller coaster.
That
right?
is the worst thing that can ever happen in a race car to you, is if your stomach's not feeling well. There is no good ending to that at all. You're not going to get out of the car. So,
I don't know
I'm pretty sure everyone can put 2 and 2 together here. It's not good.
Did this happen to you?
No, but I've heard horror stories before. It's not good.
And then these yellow flag laps are forever here at COTA. And so there's a lot of time when you're just out lost in space. But here we go. We're going to pit road. Allmendinger's bringing it in hot.
Jamie Little, you're up. Here's the 16 and others.
Preston Pardis feeling pretty good. Little rusty. He hasn't raced anything in about 5 months. Came out here in the Xfinity Series and qualified in the top 10. That's exactly where he kept it. He just wants the car to be a little bit better, as you see a chassis adjustment on the 36 of Alex LeBay, that Can-Am sponsorship. Doing a nice job here. Just wants to fix the car up a little bit snug for him right now, Regan.
Well, the 11 car of Daniel Hemrick right now, that car needs some rear grip. Sliding the back tires too much is what that means. The 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, he feels like those front tires stayed on that race car very good. That's not a good sign for the competition.
In the race off pit road, going to be won by Justin Allgaier, +4 for him. Great effort by the 7 team. Hemrick goes +1. A.J. loses 2. We talked about that. A couple of spots lost for Alex LeBay, and a great effort by Our Motorsports and the 23 team of Anthony Alfredo, who's up 6 spots. Stage 1 winner, A.J. Allmendinger.
We're going to talk to the dinger?
Yeah, let's talk to the dinger. A.J. Allmendinger, Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got me?
What's up, Joe?
AJ, you're looking pretty good out there. Your car looks fast. It looks like you were having a bunch of fun racing for the lead there. All 3 of you was putting on one heck of a show for us. But now you got to start a little further back than you want to. What's the aggression level here?
Yeah, we still got to be patient. Long way to go in this race. Nutrient Ag Solution Chevy is pretty good. We're definitely doing a lot of work out here for sure, but that was a lot of fun battling with Ty and Cole. So we'll try to be smart here and try to keep this thing clean so we can be there at the end of the last stage.
Well, that's going to be a challenge for sure. We're looking forward to watching you do this here. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
AJ told me that he just calls you the Joe.
It's Dinger Nation to me. I call him Dinger Nation.
You call him Dinger Nation. He calls you the Joe.
The Joe.
I like that. It's March 26th, Live Long and Prosper Day. Look at Kurt in the back.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Nice hair.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I'm just happy to be there.
I feel like Blaney should be involved in this. He's the Star Wars guy, right? Is this Star Wars? Star Trek? It's completely different. I've never watched either one.
Come on,
I
man.
also don't watch much football either, as you guys have noticed here
Fouls
today.
everywhere.
Racing and racing.
You know, you cannot beat a good game-winning field goal in the bottom of the ninth. You really can't beat that.
Slight spread has no idea what you're talking about.
I'm starting to put it together. I think you're picking on me, though.
No, I'm a huge New England Patriots fan. I really am. And I love the Red Sox, too, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's where I'm from, man. Home team.
There we go. Pace car is off. We're ready to start up stage 2.
Allgaier restarts 13th. He's the first guy that pitted at the end of the stage on those fresh tires. Top 12 stayed out after pitting late in stage 1. Front row, Gibbs, Custer. Off we go once again at Circuit of the Americas.
I'm feeling some urgency from some guys here. We could see some big action here.
Well, you got to. This is where you can make big gains. Look at AJ way down there in the bottom.
AJ, Ross Chastain out of line for the lead. How are they going to sort this out? Turn 2. Bubba Wallace in the mix.
We'll get him back.
Where did Chastain come from?
Sam Mayer is there. Gibbs goes from the front row to 4th, and Custer's behind him.
And Bubba Wallace knifed his way through there. He's up running P3 now. Crazy turn 1 action. I mean, this place is incredible the way that it was designed, and now you have all these S's. And most people got single file way quicker than I thought they would.
You can never guess what's going to happen in the turn 1. The way they have the track set up is just crazy. Coleman, what do you got?
Yeah, thank God there's no out of bounds, right? I just seen AJ cross over 2 lines. Biggest thing you see there on restarts, yeah, you want to try to get the opening there, try to jump a row or 2. You just got to be careful for the stack up here at this really tight pivot in turn 1. Going back down the hill, if you're trapped in the middle, you're parked, you can't see what's coming ahead, so we're really concentrating on managing that gap in front of you.
I wondered what you guys thought about as drivers on these long caution laps. Now I know you're putting a plan in place for the restart, because we saw a little bit of everything there to begin the second stage.
There's always a great plan until you hit the gas, and then that plan's gone. Yeah, Bubba moving up to 2nd.
Driving down into turn 12. Great passing zone, and then now you have this little stadium section. It's first gear, everything's real delicate through here, but you can gain a lot of time on fresh tires through here.
It is so much more grip through this section this year than there was last year. One, because it's dry, but it's also repaved, and that grip, you can notice it. As soon as you get on that repave, it's like, ooh, there it is.
What's the transition like when it comes to the fresh asphalt versus the old? Do you feel that?
Oh yeah, right here, this section, the way you go back to the old, it's like, oh man, really? Now I got to deal with all this tire slippage, and everything doubles up as far as the difficulty.
It's like going across a state line, one that maybe doesn't put as much money into their highway program, right?
Yeah.
I see what you did there, yeah.
Similar.
Great action here at the beginning of the stage, because everybody's just running. Wow.
Whoa, no, look, maybe missed
one's
a
off
gear
the
there
pace.
probably. They had the looks of missing a gear on the 1.
Sure did. Now he's back up going. Absolutely missed a gear, and Gibbs had to go one way and make the best of that situation. Now he's got to try to hold off Custer, and I think he'll clear him. Oh, no.
I think he gains a spot out of all that.
Gibbs's car.
That's where you got to give. You see where Cole had to give right there. You can't go into that corner too wide. You're going to bang the doors off of each other, and it's not going to end well for either one.
Yeah, all what Cole is doing now is he's trying to set it.
I
don't think,
Hang on.
Woo. You can hear the tires squealing.
I
as they're
thought there
coming
was
by
something
there.
going on with Gibbs's car. It doesn't have the mojo right now. Wow, that audio picked up the tire squeal. He's got something wrong. He is fish out of water right now. Talking about the 54 car cannot get the grip that he needs. It just said Austin Hill here.
I got to get going again. Once you get offline in those S's, it compounds all the way through it. You're offline for one, you're offline for the next, to the next, to the next, and you just got to stop and reset sometimes to get back online.
Joey, you're such a sports buff. I mean, when you're skiing and you go through the moguls and you hit one wrong, and now you hit the next one wrong.
Exactly.
Just like that?
Just like those jumps. Yeah.
Jumps.
Sports trivia with Joey Logano for $200, please. Let's go back to the front straightaway, and Sam Mayer became the 5th of 5 junior motorsports cars to have some kind of a problem early in this race.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that's a first to second shift. And you're trying to grab these shifts as quick as you can. And remember, these guys don't have the sequential shifters that next-gen cars have tomorrow. This is the old school H-pattern 4-speed transmission in them. So you got to give them a little bit of time. You can't hustle them and preload the shifter and all those type of things. It's old school.
It's old school and it's delicate, and maybe he was looking in the mirror trying to double check his run that he got off of turn 20 as far as accelerating, and then he just tried to hustle the shift.
That takes me to, though, the level of concentration when you're running this place. It's the shifting. it's the track and where you are and where do I want to be. And especially on a restart, trying to figure all that out as you make that climb up to turn number 1. Whole lot to manage for the driver between the years here.
Yeah, there's an offensive mode like we're watching with Allmendinger right now. He is going to toss it on in here to turn 1. He did into 20. And then sometimes you're on defense because you slipped up on corner exit and he didn't get the good run. But wow, turn 1 has so many different options for guys, and you got to get right back on track for turn 2.
You look at AJ all the way up to Ty Gibbs here. And you look at the speed that the 54 does not have. There's got to be something wrong. Jamie, you got any info on the 54?
Yeah, Joey, you and Kurt were talking about and speculating maybe something wrong. The right front, they think, may be going down. I don't know if you guys can get a better view of it there, but his pit crew is ready and on the wall with some tires if he needs to bring it down right now.
Oof, yeah, it is not going well, and he just cannot get the corners right. And if you look at most of the corners he's struggling with, they're left-handers.
Right, where all the weight really, look how that car is not turning. He definitely has a flat tire or something wrong with the right front.
Yeah. What's crazy about this is he restarted on the front row. You would think it's much safer there. Issues for Ty Gibbs. 5 laps down in our second stage here at COTA. Ten laps to go, stage 2. NASCAR Xfinity Series live in Austin, Texas. It's Circuit of the Americas. It's the Pit Boss 250 on FS1. While we were away, unscheduled pit stop for Ty Gibbs. We talked about his problems. The driver of the 54 scored in the 36th position right now. And what's difficult is that you can pit late in this stage and go the rest of the way on fuel, but they pitted too early, I think, to be able to do that. So they're definitely going to have to pit again, and now they put themselves squarely behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough for them to make it up because there's 10 to go in the second stage. They can't make it from here, like you said. So you're not starting your recovery until the beginning of the third stage, and there's only 16 laps.
Yeah, well, less than that after you cycle the caution out, right?
True. So he's starting from behind with just a few laps to go. Jamie, you got more info on the 54?
Yeah, after they pitted, they took the tires off. This is what happened to the right front. Valve stem right here knocked out. You see how long it's supposed to be. Knocked out. it was leaking air, so our pole sitter now shuffled all the way back to 36.
You need those valve stems. Those are very important.
You know, it's crazy that he's won twice this year. And in those 2 races, wins at Las Vegas and last week at Atlanta, he led a total of 7 laps. 13 laps total led this year for the 54.
You know, one thing I want to draw everybody's attention back to is the beginning of this stage. I want to highlight Chastain's car here in P2 and just watch what his ability is to get the lead. And right now it's one of those typical, boom, I'm going to throw in here with authority and go down in the bottom side of turn 1 and then not even care. He didn't even really even care.
That's the valve stem right there, right? Is that where he got it?
No, because the problem happened on the right,
the right side. Yeah, you're right.
54.
Yep.
But Chastain drove it in there with authority and said, here, chew on the outside of the racetrack. I'm going to take the proper line.
That's a game of chicken, right, Kurt? You go in there, where are you going to lift? In Ross's mind, I believe he was going to brake later than Ty Gibbs, no matter where he hit the brakes. He was going to go just a little bit further because that was his chance to take over control of the race.
That's Chastain. He'll do that. He's an aggressive guy, but it's clean most of the time. And I like the way that he throws it in there with the authority and now jumps ahead for the lead. But also, Bubba Wallace followed him through, and then now he's trying to hold off Cole Custer. Cole's car is pretty darn good today, and we'll see if he's able to make the pass here on Bubba.
What are you seeing, Coleman?
Hey, Adam, I've moved down to turn 11 now. Here's a few things that I've got for you guys. Turn 1, that's the primary spotter stand. They make us stand in that stand. What's cool about being down here in turn 11, we can go wherever we want. NASCAR provides a stand for us up in turn 9 where majority of the guys are. I come down here closer to turn 11 to try to get a better look at the braking zone into 11 where I feel is more important. I give up some space in turns 7 and 8 to see better in turn 11. First observation I have, there's 3 Joe Gibbs Racing spotters down here in turn 11. They've also thought that same mindset that turn 11's worth gaining more sight lines for and losing some of 7 and 8. Second thing I'm noticing, this is the furthest I'm away from a crew chief. They have these antennas to try to reach their crew chiefs and talk to the other end. Communication's a very difficult thing, and these antennas allow these spotters to talk to the crew chiefs on the box as well as the other 2 spotters on the racetrack.
Well, that's a good point. He's a long ways away, and as a spotter and a driver, you kind of go over some of the stuff and saying, hey, are you okay with, you know, no vision in a certain spot of the track? That the spotter is just not going to be able to see you. You're on your own in those spots, and for, you know, a spot that might be more important to see.
I'm just hopeful he gets his antenna fixed. With 44.
That's Asheville. That's Asheville coming out.
Sage Karam spun it around.
That's an IndyCar guy, and then he's getting a dosage of some of the NASCAR action. I mean, Sage didn't do anything wrong right there. It just guys came in hot from behind.
What do you have in common with Sage Karam? Top 10
in Indy 500. Yeah,
not just started the race. Had a good finish.
That's all right. Just stayed out of trouble.
You were 4th. What?
Sixth.
Sixth. Okay. Well, I was trying to get you in the top 5.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Side by side break coming halfway through. Stage number 2, Chastain, Custer, Wallace, the top 3. With Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, I'm Adam Alexander. Coleman Presley, our spotter analyst, has made his way to turn 11 on pit road. Jamie Little, Regan Smith. The leader is Ross Chastain, and he's been out front for 9 circuits today. Second has been good between Cole Custer and Bubba Wallace. And fourth is getting good as well. Sam Mayer is there, and here comes A.J. Allmendinger after staying out to win stage 1. Lost a couple of spots on pit road. Restart 16th. He's now 5th.
There it is, just chipping away. 8 seconds back at lap 20. Now he's less than 6 at lap 23. Do the math on that, and it's just like if you're fishing and you got the reel out, you're just reeling it in.
Look how much he arcs that corner. Sam Mayer going in shallow and hard. AJ arcs it, crosses it back, and we got a battle here for second. Bubba taking it over.
Yeah. All this is good for AJ, right? The more these guys race each other, the more the door opens for him to take advantage and pick off some more spots before the end of the stage, or before they make pit stops with a couple to go, which is what we anticipate out of most of these guys.
Yeah, at this point, we were talking about a little bit off air before we came back on. At this point, if you try to get stage points this time and don't pit before the end of the stage, you're probably going to take yourself out of a contention to win the race. So, you know, someone like Sam Mayer is probably on the cutoff spot. Like he's up front. He's got a car that's capable of winning, right? He's in the hunt. He's hanging with everybody right here. I think if I'm Sam, I'm probably going to pit. But if I'm looking at maybe Hemrick, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere back there where you probably don't have the speed at this point to win, take what you can. Take those points while you can.
Advice for Mayer, let AJ go into turn 12, huh?
He was looking like he was going to let him go. He raced him in there.
At this point,
he's still there. He's still racing him.
He's not going away.
You can't tell those guys with yellow back bumpers anything. They're going to race you all the way through.
Ooh, a little contact there.
Yeah, he did.
And this is a spot where we're talking about passing efficiently, right? The 1 and the 16 here, they're giving up time as they're banging each other's doors off and stuff, where it's going to happen, right? AJ's going to pass you. He's faster. He has newer tires. Just let him go. Cut your losses. Survive for the next one.
Yeah, we gotta bring this back and watch. This is when AJ's like, man, I had enough of this. But this started way back here in turn 11. Driving down in, Mayer's just smoking every which tire, trying to maintain pace, and he's looking ahead to Cole, and now he's looking behind to AJ. And as we go down the back straightaway, this is where it's like, okay, buddy, should just kind of cash in, let AJ go by, but Mayer wants to race him. And by the time we get to 14 and 15, you're going to see what AJ does to him. AJ just roughs him and moves him just way up like go-kart style. Like, buddy, here's the weeds. I'm going this way. So here we are, turn 12. Mayer's still racing him. Now we're going into 13. I love this stuff because this is when it's mano-y-mano, and you got to know whose attitude is what. If you hit the dinger, you're going to expect something back.
You're getting dinged back.
For context, AJ's 40. Sam's 18. I mean, he's got some lessons to learn, right?
Yep, and he just ran him wide. Like, okay, now I'm done with you. I'm moving on.
Fun to watch.
That's some great stuff. That's when you have the attitudes and road courses come out.
And now if I'm Sam, I just follow AJ and try to figure out what he's doing because he's one of the best in the business. Coleman?
Hey, thanks, Adam. Question for Joey and Kurt up there in the booth. Last 3 laps going into turn 11 here, I've noticed Sam Mayer locking up his right front tire. How important is that for a spotter to relay to you? How hard you're locking it up, how long you're locking it up, and is that a major concern?
It's definitely a concern. You can only do that so many times before you just flat spot your inside tire, whether it's left front or right front, depending on the corner. And you're going to start paying the price for that. The tire's going to start wearing out. You're going to start losing grip, or worse, you're going to pop the tire. And you most of the time can feel that as we got a spin over here. Who's that?
Patrick Gallagher.
Looks like he's going to get going. Yeah. To finish that thought, though, most of the time you can feel the big lockups, right? When you get in there and you're really smoking it, you can tell. But the small little lockups sometimes are really hard to feel as the inside tire has so little load on it. You almost can't even tell. So it's nice for the spotter to tell you that.
Snyder just said, bye-bye. He kind of clinked him right here. Well,
Oh, yeah.
that's where it started. Never mind. I love when we're able to rewind far enough to see how things start. Now I understand why the maneuver was made from the 31.
That was instant. You should have done that to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Worked out good for Stephen Parsons in the SoCal Chevrolet. He said, "You two play for a while. I'll drive right by for position."
Yeah, that was that Texas two-step again. You watch them dance, and then, okay, I'm going over here.
There you go. The two steps and the Leonard spinner today. I mean, we got it.
Nailing this. We're in the groove like Chastain right now. We're just laying down lap times. So yeah,
Four to
Dinger's
go.
up to third.
Landon Castle started in the back. He was in the top 10, has fallen back to 12th. And the heart rate indicates he is working. Scheduled pit stops into stage 2. You're going to flip this thing. First one in, Noah Gragson, Regan.
Adam still continuing to battle a very loose race car with that 9 race car. Want some adjustments for that, and this is the first opportunity to try and hand him some of that Dramamine as they didn't pit last time.
How do you take medicine while you're driving a race car really fast?
Maybe they crush it up and put in a water bottle. I don't know. That's it's definitely an obstacle that you got to work through.
Stuff.
Regan, can you help us with that? What'd they do?
Kurt, you are a smart man. That is exactly what they did. They crushed the Dramamine up, put it in a water bottle to hand into Noah.
Go, Noah, go. You'll feel better right away.
Yeah, sure. Paging Dr. Bush.
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
Bush,
Quack
please.
in the bush. Quack in the bush. Look at this.
Oh, boy. A little tight right
yeah,
there.
they sorted that out. I didn't think they'd sort that out.
Jeb Burton in the top 10, having a pretty good day. Looking for his first top 10 of the year. First season at Our Motorsports. Got his first career victory a year ago at Talladega. Brandon Jones in this mix. Another one of those drivers that had to come from the back.
Yeah, he started shotgun on the field. That's just another little Texas action. Well, there's shotguns everywhere. But Brandon is definitely working his way back up through as smooth as he can. There doesn't look like there's a mark on the car. And he's trying to get in position for that final stage. That's all you can do when you start at the back of a road course, is just try to chisel away and position it for the end.
And when you're this far back, there's no give and take anymore. You know, the top 3 or 4 or 5 cars, we were talking about Sam Mayer earlier and AJ, there's a little give and take up front. When you start getting a little towards the middle of the pack, it's cutthroat.
Yeah, it's that whole grouping. Like if you look at the column on the left, you've got Sheldon Creed 14 seconds back. Then with Hemrick, LeBay, Burton, Castle, everybody's back there, elbows out. But let's bring it down to Regan on the 16.
Well, A.J. Allmendinger been very, very fast this run again. But obviously, if they want to win the race, they feel like they've got to flip the stage right now, as we've been talking about. The rear tires on that car have been chattering. He's been complaining about it. The team told him, deal with it. You're a second faster than everybody else. In the 18 of Bubba Wallace, very good so far today. Still consistent up front, been taking his time. Felt like he might have been pushing through the front tires just a little bit too much.
I want to know who told AJ to deal with it. I mean, you got to be careful saying that to AJ.
I don't want to hear that as a driver. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Love you too.
These are scheduled stops prior to the ending of stage 2. So as Regan pointed out and we've discussed, everyone can flip the stage and gain that track position for the final stint of the race.
And this is no mistakes here. You have a pit road penalty, a speeding penalty, an uncontrolled tire. It's over. It's over for you. You don't have enough time to make it up.
Ross Chastain continues to lead. Cole Custer has stayed out. He's second. Third right now, Sam Mayer. Jade Buford, Justin Allgaier complete the top 5. They are yet to make a pit stop. The 54 is back for his service, Jamie.
And Ty Gibbs just hasn't been able to make up much ground since having that unscheduled pit stop earlier after knocking in the valve stem. He said lateral grip is just lacking and the team is having a hard time hearing him. So definitely not the day he wanted here early on, but don't count him out yet.
You know, Coleman was saying earlier how hard it is to hear your driver because this track is so big. There's also this huge building on the backside of pit road. It's beautiful where the garages are, but on pit road, those antennas can't quite reach all the way to the driver a lot of times, so it's really hard to hear them.
Yeah, I try to have my crew chief just talk on the front straightaway, and then if he has to relay things to the spotter, that's done on a secondary channel. That way the communication is as crisp and as clear as possible. Look at this. We've got the leader, we've got second place. this is all about positioning for the end of the race. These guys don't care about stage points. So let's go to Jamie Little on pit road.
That's right, Kurt. It's all about trophy hunting, and that's what you're seeing here with Cole Custer. He's been in one race this year, and he won it. Good run here so far, just wants to tear off in a drink. The 92, Ross Chastain, this team is just incredible. The sign holder for the team is Kyle Weatherman. He finished 8th in this car a week ago. Really good things from this Mario Gosselin team.
And now we keep an eye on this. As they exit, where do they fall in line in comparison to A.J. Allmendinger, who has already made his stop and was the best of those cars that had been able to come down and get their green flag service?
Yeah, this is the in and the out on how hard you have to hustle. This is what we see a lot of times with Formula One. And it's right now hustle time, even though the crew chief said, hey, man, take care of the tires because you're going to be on them for all of stage 3.
There's Chastain. There is Custer. Here comes Allmendinger behind them in turn 1. So in a sense, he's third, right? He's not officially, but that's where he will be once things cycle through at the end of the stage.
And this is what Coleman was talking about, that information of how far ahead they are and what's going on. The cars that are in front of AJ are too far ahead of him that he's not going to catch them at this point with 2 to go. Chill out, save your tires, be ready.
And a penalty for Cole Custer, too fast exiting. So he will have to pay his debt to NASCAR, and that will make his afternoon very challenging from this point forward with so few laps remaining. 2 to go in our second stage, and Sam Mayer is taking over the top spot. They're going to go for stage points.
That's what I was thinking. It's like cash in and try to grab this for later in the season.
Well, and Allgaier's up there. And look at Josh Berry in the top 5. Remember when he got, crashed and had all that damage? They came down, repaired it, stayed on the lead lap. And he's now in a position to get some stage points here.
And this is the opportunity for them to say, hey, I got something out of today, right? It's not going the best for them in general for today. Sam Mayer is actually doing really well, but some of the other cars that weren't quite as fast, right? You see they're 16 seconds behind Mayer at that point. Now they're going to be able to get some points. What's happened to the 18 here?
Something definitely wrong with 18. He looked like he never charged out of the corner, out of that turn 11 down the long back straightaway, and he's back big time off the pace.
Second Gibbs car we've seen have problems today. We've talked so much about Ty Gibbs. Now it's Bubba Wallace. Coleman, what did you see?
Yeah, so Kurt brought up a good point about the 18. That's 3 laps in a row coming out of turn 11 that I've seen him stumble to get going. Got to make you think that maybe he's lost a gear or something. Be interested to know. And then what other corners is that going to affect that he uses that gear in if that's the case?
Yeah, it's looking now like it's terminal. He's got no pace at all as he rounds through some of the final few corners. I don't know what's up. It's really puzzling.
He is not going. You see the car behind him catch him at a rapid pace. Something is wrong. And what a good run he had going, too.
Hey, look at our top 5. They're all going to pit at the end of the stage. So that takes me to where we'll be for the final run. Chastain, the best of the bunch. Custer is there, but he's got the penalty, so factor him out. Allmendinger likely going to be second on the restart to begin the final stage. And Noah Gragson is in the top 10. He'll be third of that group that's already made a pit stop. So these guys are doing a nice job of managing their day. And what's the latest on Bubba Wallace, Regan?
Adam, you see Bubba struggling on the racetrack just a little bit. The transmission actually jumping out of gear on him. So basically when it's in the gas, it jumps into neutral. He's got to hold it in gear right now.
Wow.
It's a tough task, but yeah, that's a shame. I mean, like we saw him gathering up spots early and making good headway. I mean, overall today, you can chalk it up as a success to help you feel more confident for tomorrow. I mean, you're here just for the win, but also Bubba's agenda was to gather up data.
Absolutely.
And you're talking about 20 shifts a lap here, right? So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for it to go wrong.
And good luck trying to hold a car in gear around this place. You need 3 hands to do that. It's hard to take a hand off the wheel.
How about this guy, Sam Mayer, going to get his first career stage win. He's had a lot of bumps in the road, but fast cars each and every week. And I kind of like this play. Leave him out there and let him build some confidence, gain some points.
I love that. Exactly. It's to build confidence in yourself, the team, and to check that box of we won a stage.
I mean, confidence, whatever. It's a playoff point and 10 regular season points. That's what it's about, trying to set yourself up to win a championship. That's why they made the call.
3 of the top 4 from Junior Motorsports.
Very good job. Sorry we had to do that.
Sandwiched in between, Jade Buford. A good second place finish for him. Riley Herbst, nice comeback to finish 5th. He's only 18 years old, from Wisconsin. Sam Mayer, a stage winner. Tomorrow on FS1, Christian Pulisic and the U.S. men's national team take on Panama as the Stars and Stripes look to move one step closer to the World Cup tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Hey, Joey, that's soccer.
What's that? I thought it was football.
We're in Austin, Texas. Such a great city. And now home to NASCAR. And when we came here last year, Mother Nature wasn't too friendly. Picture perfect all weekend long this time around. Today going up to a high temperature around 90, 85 and some change tomorrow for the Cup race. And these Xfinity Series drivers really enjoying their time in the Pit Boss 250.
Do you know why the umbrella was invented? It wasn't
because
for
it was
rain.
raining?
It wasn't for rain. It was for the sun. It was to protect yourself from the sun. That's how an umbrella was invented.
Oh,
Earlier he's showing off his medical knowledge. Now he's an historian.
So you can use an umbrella last year. You can use an umbrella this year. That's all I'm getting at. Umbrellas are handy.
You know, Jeopardy's looking for a new host, Kurt.
I can only do the $200 questions. Anything past that, even round 2, I struggle.
If it's about sports, I'm in trouble.
Boop, boop, boop. Joey's got the question mark above his head.
The whole time.
Well, this changes the game, but yet it's still a battle with all those guys here in this final stage on when they wanted to pit, and then now who battled out for that track position, and then now we'll see the race up the hill in turn 1 after this group pits. These are all the guys, most of your regulars that stayed out to grab those stage points for the season-long points.
And I counted like half the field, more than half the field, made their pit stop under green. So these guys pitting now going to have a long way to go in the final stage. Jamie?
Nice call for the 48. They're going in the right direction. Jade Buford, they made a wedge adjustment on the last stop, and he said that was very positive, and they're making another one right there. You see the adjustment in a 4-tire stop. Meanwhile, the one of Sam Mayer, our stage winner, they said, all right, we got that. We're sorry we had a transmission problem earlier, but let's go out and have some fun now. We got some points. Regan.
Good recovery for the 8 car of Josh Berry right now, but that car won't go to the left and right quick enough for him. Gets too sloppy when it does. In the 7 of Justin Allgaier, second gear, it will not stay in there, so he is not even using second gear with that race car. Another transmission problem.
Wow. Hey, the next couple of weeks we go to Richmond and Martinsville. Josh Berry looks like he raced his car at both tracks. Never changed it out, right? I mean, that thing is beat up. By the way, he's looking forward to going to Martinsville. Got his first career win there a season ago, and you can see the work going on the 18 here.
All right, I think we should dial up the 1 and give some cred to Sam Mayer. Hey, Sam Mayer, congrats on the stage win. This is the boys in the Fox Sports 1 booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Right on, man. We're proud of you for staying out there and grabbing that stage. Now what's your plan?
I guess just stay out of trouble is the biggest thing. I mean, we're so far back now, but it's worth it for us to get those points because we've kind of gotten a hole with our luck recently, so digging out of it to start is something we have to do, but going forward, just going to stay out of the way of the wreck anyway. Try to get to the front, I guess.
Nah, keep her clean, keep her smooth. I'm really only counting like 4 cars behind you, so you're really far back, but hey, keep it smooth and work your way on up, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Be fun to watch Sam Mayer drive through the field in the final stage. This is Joe Graff Jr. You cannot do that. Final stage coming up from COTA.
Welcome back to COTA, and here we got some real good information on how AJ Allmendinger and Ross Chastain run different lines through 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These turns you can do it in different ways. Look how AJ runs it down in there hard. The 92 of Chastain backs it up, gets a run on the exit, Kurt, what happens down here?
Yeah, as far as like the SMT data and all the things that we look at as drivers, we're trying to gather information. Which lap is this? How did he do that? Who's on better tires? But it's still all about corner exit. And Allmendinger was able to lay down the power there and drive away on that certain simulation model that we just showed you.
And that section of the racetrack is so technical. You're not going fast. You're, top of first gear at the fastest, which is not very quick. So it's very technical and trying to hit those lines just right. And you saw AJ just get the launch out of there, and that's where the lap time's made.
Everyone should be good to go. Don't need any more pit stops. It's just time to race the final stage to the checkered flag. And two of the best all day out front, Chastain, Allmendinger, have combined to lead 26 of our 31 laps.
Coming around the corner here.
And they're on the front row.
Oh, this is
for this
good.
restart.
This is that emoji where you put the popcorn in. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be intense. It's going to be the angry face is what this is.
Here we go. Final stage of COTA. All the players are up front. That was a cool angle. It brought us up the hill instead of looking at the cars, and you can still see the chaos everywhere.
You just got to fight for these spots. You got to get every one of them. Like AJ able to take the lead in turn 2.
Is Chastain going to get mean with him?
He's not going to just give it to him. I promise you that.
And Chastain's car's been a little better on the short run, so I expect some, not across it, but I expect more pressure from the 92 right now on the leader.
We saw going into the S's there. AJ was a little bit offline. He's still a little bit offline. It just keeps building and building as he goes through the S's here, which leaves Ross right on his bumper, leaving the corner. You know it's going to be a big braking event after the little kink here, down into 11.
He's there. He's going to throw it in there. There's no way he's not.
Keep in mind, these two were teammates at Colleague a couple of years ago.
Not no mo.
And no stranger, either one of them, to aggressive racing.
I tell you, the Dinger threw it in there to hold that position as the leader. I expected more of a challenge from Chastain, but there's more opportunities, just like this one coming up here, turn 12.
You see that draft start to kick in at the end of the straightaway. Ross, heavy braking onto the new asphalt.
He's there.
And this is where you see that ghost car element, right? Just how different they drive this section of the course.
They're going to drive it different when they're side by side, too. And Noah's back there saying, keep on racing, baby. I'm going to be there.
Yep, Noah's going to try to squeak in there for sure.
His stomach's probably feeling better now, right? Because he's got a chance to win this race.
Oh, yeah. The further forward you are, your stomach and all your problems go away.
So what we saw there, AJ really shortened up the entry of that to protect himself. And then the 9 got in the back of the 92 and really built that gap up for AJ to where now he can breathe, run his own line, and focus on making speed. While Ross Chastain still has to be a little bit defensive as he's starting to build a gap on the 9 as well.
I feel like it's so important to take control of the race. AJ's been able to do that on this restart in the opening lap of this final stage.
Hey, Kurt, you know how it is, though. When you got someone breathing down your neck, you can't run the big arcs and things you want as we got a caution for debris.
Yeah, I relate that back to when I was first starting out racing and at a go-kart track. When you make a pass and now you're running defensive, you don't take the normal lines. You're running a defensive line because you know that guy's going to hit you from behind until you can get spread out and get away. Here's some of the debris that we might have found.
It's turn 20, coming to the front straightaway.
Too many cars in one spot. That's what that is.
First caution today for some form of incident. The other 2 cautions coming out to end the first 2 stages.
Now for debris. Just manage your temp. Manage temp.
That was the 07 of Cole Custer trying to come back from that speeding penalty. AJ Allmendinger leading. Ross Chastain, Noah Gragson, Austin Hill, and Jeff Burton.
for me, it starts going up the hill, and you hit the braking zone, and then you get through the corner. That's where I have trouble, and then go through some lefts and rights, and I have trouble all through there. And then I get to the far end of the racetrack, I got trouble over there. There's a long back straightaway, I got trouble there. Do some more lefts and rights, and I'm about 3/4 of the way through the track. I still have trouble there. I'm like, okay, we're getting to the end, I'm gonna do it. And I get to the end of the course, and not very good there either. So all of it is trouble for me.
I could not keep my laughs in. I'm sorry.
So basically, outside of turns 1 through 20, Noah Gregson's got this place figured out, huh?
Hey, he's up to 3rd right now, so it can't be that bad.
I think he must be feeling better after he got the nausea medicine. But anytime you're running up front, you're going to feel better. But that's a hilarious description of a guy that's always still trying to improve. It's self-deprecating humor, and Noah's one of the best for that.
We're going to get a restart here with just over 10 laps to go. Who do you like, Allmendinger, Chastain, or the field? Which route would you go in this situation?
I like Allmendinger. I like the speed he's got. I like that he can drive down in the corner hard. But Ross is a tough competitor, and he's an underdog type guy. He's in an underdog car. He's going to be giving it all he has to try to win this thing.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with both of those. And then you have the field. The field has plenty of options, like what we saw earlier in the truck race. The leaders take each other out, and then the 3rd place kind of squeaks on by.
And I think the field is rooting for Chastain to be Chastain so that the 16 and 92 go away, and it opens the door for all the others. Restart when we come back to Austin, Texas. Glad to have you with us. Tomorrow on Fox, things are always bound to get weird down in Austin. See who can outlast the rest of the first road course race of the season and bring home that checkered flag. The NASCAR Cup Series from Circuit of the Americas tomorrow, 3 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Coverage begins on FS1 with race day at 2.
It was all I could to stay off the telestrator right there and draw all over Joey.
Now our Xfinity fastest laps of the day. Ross Chastain leading the way in that category. No surprise, Allmendinger is second. Sam Mayer is up there, who got his first career stage win. How about this? The Undertaker is driving the pace car tomorrow.
Whoa.
WWE fame.
Okay, good to know.
Joey.
This just
Joey's
with all
like,
the rest of the things today. I'm
Joey
like,
gave me that
The
look like, you
Undertaker.
got to help me. You got to help
Who
me.
dat?
And we've confirmed he will not be driving a hearse at the front of the field. That is not acting as the pace car. That's bad humor, isn't it?
It's all
Restart.
We have the restart, and it's on now. The inside lane got a good jump.
You see some wheel spin from the Ross Chastain to get going there. Smoking
They
the
are
tires in there. It looks
checking
like
up.
Algeier way down there at the bottom.
Might have been Miguel Paludo driving that
Oh,
88.
that's who it was.
There's cars everywhere, and top 3 have single filed out.
There goes the dinger.
Ross did a good job getting back to second there. He didn't have the best of launches in the restart zone and able to get through turn 1 and 2 to be able to apply the pressure to the 16 still.
Man, I'll tell you
He's all over him.
Yeah, that microphone in that corner is gathering up all the tire chatter. It's awesome. This is turn 8, all the way to the grass. These guys don't even care about the curve. Turn 9, this is that launch that drives you down through 10 and into the passing zone. But right now, Dinger has definitely gapped himself to be clear. No problem right now. I'll tell you, we're getting a little sneaky here from Austin Hill.
He's having a really nice day. What about Jeb Burke?
Yeah.
Who knew Jeb was a road racer? He has really managed his day quite well.
It's fun to watch. These drivers are getting better and better as they make laps. The drivers that you thought weren't really in the middle of this. Here's the 28 here again.
That's Gallagher.
Thank you. I was wondering who that was the first time. I got it now. But I was saying is, though, as these drivers make more laps, they get closer and closer to the lead drivers, right? The guys that have more laps in road courses or around this racetrack in general. As they get more laps, you see the field get closer.
Somebody drove it on in there. That was
See
LeBay.
LeBay.
Yeah.
So that's big for him too, because he was, looking at a potential top 5 finish. Although
Still all
he
right.
goes all the way off and drives back out in front of it, and back behind him you see the Gallagher spin.
Big run from the top side. A little bit too high though.
Jamie.
Yeah, how about Austin Hill? Early on, he lacked some front turn. They got that fixed up, and he told me before he got in the car, I'm pretty confident when it comes to road course racing, and I think if we hit our marks, we'll be there to contend for the win with these guys at the end. And right now, this is the best his car has been all day.
Hey, and he won a truck race at Watkins Glen last year. He was 8th here in the truck race a season ago, and he wants revenge in an Xfinity race because he was 2nd in a home game last Saturday at Atlanta, and that's his teammate Sheldon Creed.
You see all these spins happening right now. That just tells me there's 10 laps to go. The intensity level is risen even higher, that you got to go. And right now there's no give and take. When someone sends it down in there, they're not lifting anymore. They're not going to give it to you anymore.
Yeah, this is where you break down the track of the passing zones, and then you have the aggressive areas where you can chop the curbing and try to max gain for your lap time. And then when that mixes together with somebody on a different plan, that's when those passing zones ends up with contact and guys going around.
Tough break for Alex LeBay. We saw him go wide last time around in turn 11. They had to make a pit stop, so he loses a ton of position.
I'll tell you though, this is when it's elbows out and you're laying down the lap times, and that's why you're seeing those top 2 kind of spread out. And you're not seeing that back and forth right now. This is, you're pouring everything into the race right now, and Sieg throwing it in there makes the pass.
Here's another guy that was disappointed last week, leading at the white flag lap in his home race. He's from Tucker, Georgia, and I know their expectations for today were very low because road racing is just not his thing. If they can find their way into the top 10, huge victory for that 39 bunch, who's finished outside the top 12 only once this year.
Absolutely. Landon Castle getting in the mix here. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Everyone's kind of all over each other right here.
Yeah, this is when there's multiple lines, and this is where there's good chances for contact. You gonna let him live? Yeah, he gave him room. And
at that point, the 9 has to give the 27 room as they hound each other through the carousel here.
Yep, that's where you have that sixth sense to know that dude's coming in my door if I pinch him. So I need to swing a little wide and use the excess racetrack. Noah made a good move there. Burton's all over him. He ain't giving up.
And Jeremy Clements is there in the 51. Veteran driver, made the playoffs a handful of years ago when he got his only career victory on a road course at Road America, and the caution is out. Debris once again, so we'll get a restart down around 6-7 laps to go.
That will box everybody back up. It puts a heat cycle on tires. Everybody's kind of sized each other up to see where they're running better or worse on the track. This is getting good.
We see damage there, 19.
Man, I told you to keep the car clean, buddy.
There's going to be a whole lot more of that between now and the checkers. We'll step aside. A.J. Allmendinger leading. He's led 18 laps today. Chastain second in that category. He's second on track. Austin Hill, Landon Castle, Noah Gragson, your top 5. there with your umbrella, Kurt. So
See that? Yeah, I was going to point that out. You can use an umbrella to defend yourself from the wind.
This is a shot for them to maybe make something happen.
Absolutely. Like, we were just running in the back, got nothing to lose. Let's let her rip.
Ty Gibbs is in, and that likely is an old set of scuffs they're putting on, because he had already pitted 3 times today for stickers when things got out of balance. And what do you see there, Jamie?
Yeah, exactly. They're very limited on tires here. So those are 7-lap scuffed tires that just went on the 54. Little hood damage. It's been a rough day for Ty Gibbs. It started early. You see that hood crumpled up. They put that bear bond on there. Slap it down, good to go.
Hey, I saw a lot of stickers going on, though. I mean, they could. Some of these guys, you know, put together a run here. If they keep it clean, keep your momentum up, and dodge the wrecks, you can work your way back up. And that's how the truck race turned out. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. We do have some audio on the 21 with Hill.
Not really sure what happened, but like going through 7, 8, 9, the car started like cutting in and out on me in second gear really bad. Like I almost had to downshift to second that lap. I don't really know what was going on. The fuel pressure gauge was doing something funky. It was like from 15 all the way to 6.
Uh-oh.
That's usually not good. You know,
some pickup issues or something. You're sloshing, you know, let's do the S's where he's talking. You're sloshing fuel in the cell back and forth there. I don't know. It could be a pickup issue. It sounds like his fuel pressure gauge is bouncing around.
Yeah, that's the best way to, as a driver, to think about things. And it's our first road course race of the year, and there could be some trash in one of the pickups that's holding up progress.
The best news for him is, you know, we're down inside of 10 laps to go, so not a long way to go to manage that. And it looks like it's, you know, we're gonna have some more time here because of the fluid on the track. Jamie, what's up?
Alex Labay in the 36 had a great run going, top 10 for a while, and then he had a little hiccup and they thought something had broken in the left rear. They brought it down. They said the housing is broken. Axle looks fine, so he's continuing on, but all the way back there outside the top 25 now, Adam.
Yeah, I hate that for him. Noted road racer, comes from Canada, speaks fluently 2 languages, both French and English. One of the more entertaining personalities down in the garage, won a Penny Series championship. And driving for Mario Gosselin. Now, Gosselin's got 2 titles as an owner on the Pinty side of things, but you think about what they brought to the table. Last week had 2 drivers get career best, Kyle Weatherman, Mason Massey at Atlanta. We come here, totally different driver lineup. All of their guys have been good. Each of them qualified inside the top 10. Ross Chastain's got a real shot to go out and win this thing. I think it's safe to say, especially this weekend, we can call Mario Gosselin Super Mario.
Ha, I like it.
No,
I like
that's
it.
Great development for a team. That's what you want to see in NASCAR. New teams coming in, you have some veteran wisdom within the ownership, and then you're going out and cherry picking some quality drivers for certain tracks and getting the foundation built up with their notes. I like that.
Under caution for the 4th time today. Pair of cautions when we ended the stages. A pair for debris here in this final stint of the race. So let's get a recap of the Pit Boss 250. And this was some action early, including Miguel Paludo in the 88.
All the hairpins are tough, and there's going to be some carnage and bumping and checking up. And just saw the accordion effect right there.
That was lap 1.
These are
and here we go with teammates here.
Sorry, excuse me. Come
out
through.
of real estate.
We'll have a discussion.
Meeting.
AJ Allmendinger winning his 2nd stage of the year.
This is where it headed south for Ty Gibbs. He's got a right front tire going down, and it just never seems like they've been able to bounce back throughout the day.
From one teenager to another, Sam Mayer, 18 years old, winning our 2nd stage, his 1st career stage victory.
Yeah, Bubba's been having trouble with 2nd gear. There's a crew guy in there trying to help out with the shifting mechanism to see if they can't make something out of the day. And then now we got the quickie dry action. Whew. That made that stadium section tough. And now we got all of this quickie dry that they put down. And that's definitely extra slick when you have all of that mixed into all the multiple lines.
I think we're going to check into AJ Allmendinger as we're fixing up the racetrack here. You want to check in, see how he's doing?
Let's check in with Dinger.
Dinger Nation, it's Logano in the booth. You got me?
I got you, the Joe. How we doing?
The Joe.
I'm doing good, but I'm not doing as good as you are. You got a rocket ship out there. It looks good. These restarts are intense. You got a very aggressive Ross Chastain sitting outside of your door there. Austin Hill looking for a win. You got a lot of heat on you. How you feeling?
What do you think? You actually think Ross is pretty aggressive? Maybe just a little?
Maybe.
We're doing all right, man. Nutrient Ag Solutions Camaro is pretty good, but we know how these restarts go. Anything can happen, so, you know, still 6 laps doesn't seem like a long way, but that's a long way around here, so we'll do everything we can.
We know you will. Fun to watch, man. Keep going.
Appreciate it, bud.
I was going to throw in some quick math. What's 6 times 20? Just to see if we can mess with him, but we got to show respect to the Dinger. Look at this.
He's been incredible in his career when it comes to road course racing. First victory when he was driving in the Cup Series at Watkins Glen. Got another win last year at the Cup level, of course, with Colleague. The first win for that organization at Indianapolis. And you see what he's been able to do in the Xfinity car when it comes to road racing across the board. This guy has been a difference maker. And I know this is a relationship that you've had with AJ for a long time, Coleman.
Yeah, I've worked with AJ. He was actually my first guy I ever spotted for. Super aggressive guy, someone that you want in this position at the end of a road course race, someone that isn't afraid to, go toe-to-toe with Ross Chastain. One thing I noticed about AJ right here, Kurt brought up the speedy drive through turns 13 and 14. AJ was the only guy in the top 10 that ran through the speedy drive, shook his car back and forth, throttled down to see how much grip it's going to have. He's going to be the first one to experience it as long as he keeps the lead going into turn 12. I have a feeling he's going to have the best idea of how much grip that's actually going to have also.
Yeah, it's always a chess match and a gauge of if you want to drive through the quickie dry, get your tires all caked up with stuff, but it's also a way to see how it's developing and see what the grip level is going to be. I think it's going to be slick ball city through that stadium section, but let's check in with Chastain. He's running P2 and he's got a shot at driving down into turn 1. So hey, Chastain, this is Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Adam Alexander in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
All right, we just checked in with Allmendinger. We have his game plan up here. What's your game plan? Hey, Chastain, we talked with Allmendinger. We've got his game plan. What's your game plan right now to try to get the W today?
The first one.
Yeah,
we're out of range.
Yeah, he's that turn 11. He's a bigger antenna. We'll maybe talk with him as he gets a little closer. But again, now they're starting to double file up. This is where you got to position yourself to get your tires cleaned up and to be ready for go. So we'll go down to Jamie and get an update from down in there. She's got a better antenna.
That's right, better antenna. Here with Nate Kennedy, the crew chief for Ross Chastain. We couldn't hear the game plan, or he just didn't want to tell us. So you tell us your game plan. What will it take to beat AJ Allmendinger?
Well, he's been quiet all day, so I don't think he's going to tell you much anyway. He knows what to do here. He's experienced. We've had good pace. We struggled a little bit on the long run speed, and he backed off a little bit when we got that gap with the penalties with the other guys. So I think this is right in our wheelhouse with the Ticket Smarter 92 right here, this short run. So we'll see what it's got.
All right, hey, 2 weeks in a row. Look, Kyle Weatherman right here finished 8th in this car last week. They've had 2 good runs at it and still a chance to win it here.
And what an incredible story this is. Ross Chastain was not going to be in this car until Monday. And now he's out here with a chance to win. How crazy is that? Normally, you prepare weeks and weeks in advance. As a driver, as a team, together, you guys go over what the setup's going to be, what you want to work on, what you think's important, all these things. Get your seat right, all that stuff. They had a lot to do in a short amount of time while Ross is still trying to get ready for a Cup race tomorrow, the most important race for him. And he gets this last-minute ride and a shot to win.
I love
Pretty cool.
I love it. He's doing racer stuff. He just loves to be a racer. Give him the wheel, and he's going to go after it. I mean, I had that happen one time in my career. Was Brad Keselowski got hurt at a test session, and they said, hey, drive the Xfinity car at Watkins Glen. I'm like, sure, I'm in. I was able to win it.
You and Tom Gordon got it done.
Yeah, me and Todd Gordon.
Oh, Todd
yes.
Gordon. Oh, yeah.
So how many Xfinity wins you got at road courses, Joey?
I got 3.
Where are they at?
All at Watkins Glen, one track wonder over here.
I got 2 at Watkins Glen. All right, you got me beat. Wait a minute. You don't have any at other tracks?
I've never raced another racetrack with an Xfinity car.
Wait, come to think of it, I haven't raced an Xfinity car and just put Watkins Glen.
It's on now, though.
Hey, this ain't about us. This is about these guys with 7 to go. It's on. There we go.
Look at this.
Everybody just lean into the left.
But block the bottom, block the bottom.
AJ did a really good job to get out there. There goes Chastain.
Hang on to it. Keep it running here. Keep it running. Keep it running.
Man, that was the last car that I thought would get spun around.
That's going to take him out of contention.
I feel bad talking to him on the radio now. Oh, man, restart is under review. We'll find out what NASCAR is focused on. Meanwhile, these guys are trying to just get all they can out. All these curbs, shaving off track time. And trying to get as much stretch out as they can. All right, I think we got a blimp view from overhead. We'll go back and check restart.
And you see Ross, he's on the outside of the front row.
Some of those guys in the back fanned out.
You see a car try to go 3 wide in there. Ross drives it in there pretty deep. Everything's looking good. I just tagged a little bit by the 10 of Landon Castle, and that's just racing to me. It just seems.
Here comes the audio on the 92.
Sorry, just trying to stay outside.
You knew Landon smelled the front for the first time ever. Just I figured that was going to happen. Eyes up here. I'm sure they're not done ranking.
It is wild at this track. That's what the track layout was designed for. It's that whole funnel effect and the way the track even turns off to the left in turn 1.
Yeah, it's inviting. They're asking you to do that. When they built this racetrack, they knew what they were doing. They're opening it up for dive bomb moves like that, and that's what happens.
Meanwhile, back at the front.
Allmendinger starting to put some distance between himself and second place Austin Hill. Noah Gragson is third. Clements and Burton, the rest of the top 5. Cole Custer, after the speeding penalty, has worked his way to 6. Keep an eye on him, especially if we were to get another caution. We've got to step aside. You miss nothing. 5 laps remaining for the Xfinity Series here at Circuit of the Americas. Down to 4 to go for the Xfinity Series at Circuit of the Americas. A.J. Allmendinger leads. Austin Hill is second. And for the time being, Jeb Burton is third, but he has been penalized for cutting the course in turn 4. You can't get on the wrong side of the rumble strips with all 4 tires. Analyze this, fellas.
Yeah, let's look and see what happens. You see the 27 there in the front of this pack here. He's got more than 4 tires on the other side of that curbing. Kurt and I both this morning were talking to NASCAR about clarification of what that looks like. That is definitely what they told us is not going to be okay. They held up to their word of what that was going to be. So it's a very tricky spot, right? You want to straight line that as much as you can. You'll go faster for sure. But it's a little bit, if you get a little bit off on one, it sends you over on the other too far, and you're 4 tires on the other side of the curb.
That, and there was such a wide range of options after turn 2 because somebody missed the corner. He just had cleared for that position. So he's just like trying to run like a rabbit and get out of there and made that little mistake. Hang on.
I can tell you, if he finished 3rd today, I mean, that team would consider that a win. That would have been so big for them. And now he's probably, going to be the last car on the lead lap.
And now he's just creating a blocking. And now we got 51, Clements, shortcutting turn 6. So both those cars in front of this one have got to serve a pass-through penalty.
These are 2 drivers that were in position for not only their best run of the year, but a difference-making run when you consider where they fit into the equation as far as points and trying to make the playoffs. This is a tough break.
It's getting crazy out there. I mean, Allmendinger and Hill have checked out, and this group back here is now folding up, making mistakes.
And look who's going to be up well inside the top 5. Cole Custer now. Now, he's way back there, 10 seconds behind the leaders. But should we get another caution, the 07 is right back in the game as far as having a chance to win this thing.
Oh, for sure. For sure he needs another caution. That's the only way. But he's going to try to get track position on the 51 here now, even though Clements has to serve a penalty. No, held him off here. But it is such a game changer at the end when you're making these split-second decisions. Your adrenaline is up and your heart rate's up. I mean, the way that all these guys are pushing hard, and that's the highest from hearing from the producer that his heart rate has been all day. These are when those little mistakes pop up.
What's up, Coleman?
Yeah, hey, we were just talking about Cole Custer and the run he's making here in these last handful of laps. He's doing a very good job of managing, respect for these series regulars, but also trying to get the most for his team in case we do get one of these late race cautions. If he can get this last spot here on the 51, Jeremy Clements, here in this next lap, he could restart 3rd on the back bumper of A.J. Allmendinger. That gives him an opportunity to win. But at the same point, he's giving these guys around him, the 51, the 9, the 31, 48, he's giving them respect in their season-long ending standings. So it'll be interesting to see how quick he can get around the 51. It looks like it's happening right now. If we get a quick caution right now, I think that could be AJ's run for the checkers.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Coleman. And if I'm Custer right now, knowing that Clements has got to make a penalty stop anyway, just get out of the way. don't wreck your car or anything. If I'm Cole, that's what I'm thinking. But it is always, as a driver, you're thinking, well, maybe they'll reverse the call, But
It's not going to happen.
It never happens. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're always hoping, but it's kind of like a one-way street downtown. It's just one way with NASCAR's officiating, and it is what it is.
Let's give some love to Austin Hill. Wins at Daytona in the season opener. He's a rookie for Richard Childress Racing. 2nd last week at Atlanta, running 2nd today. This will be his 3rd top 2 in 6 races. That's really nice stuff out of the 21.
Yeah,
and the races that he hasn't finished up front, he's had an issue. Not because he wasn't fast. It is because of things that just happen. Racing luck sometimes got the best of him a few races.
Yeah, it seems like a perfect situation for him to come out of the trucks, jump in with RCR. It shows he was ready for the transition of jumping up.
Maya Snyder, another guy that's running really good for Jordan Anderson. He hasn't had a top 10 this year. Remember, he restarted late last week at Atlanta on the front row, had the mechanical issue, got spun out, and really got no fruit for his labor there, but he's in position for a top 5. Sam Mayer stays out to win the 2nd stage. He's making a nice comeback inside the top 10. Some really good stories there as you go 6th on back.
And we really didn't call much of this. If you remember at the beginning of the race, the hitters that we thought were going to be really fast in this thing, one was AJ for sure. Ty Gibbs thought he would have a shot to win, took himself out of the contention. who else we have up there? Cole Custer had a speeding penalty. He's got himself back to third, but and Ross Chastain, the other car that we thought was good, that got spun out. So, you know, right now, AJ is the last of the fast cars that's up front right now. The rest of them have just battled through to get a solid finish.
Yeah, that's a great point. On everybody that you listed, Joey, that had trouble, it gets back sometimes to just fundamentals. And AJ is one of the most fundamental guys on road courses that gets the job done each time. Hill's starting to show that. He's been very impressive to start the season here for the Xfinity car.
And now AJ just wants to get back to the white flag so he doesn't have to go through another restart.
That's what he's hoping and praying for, but again, he's done everything right today, and there's no reason why he can't fend off another one. But I'd say with Hill and then the group that's back, they're just battling this out from third on back. It's interesting to see. And then Buford, I mean, he came in for tires, road course guys, running P8 right now. He worked his way back up into the top 10.
Miguel Paludo was wrecked lap 1. He's in the top 10.
It's really cool on how you just keep battling at these road courses and find the right spots to be when others have trouble towards the end.
It happens in every road course. You can be 15th on the final restart, and next thing you know, you're running 7th or 8th, and you're like, what the heck just happened? Because it just becomes chaos, and we saw that on the restarts.
Come to 20 right here. You'll see him here right now.
Front straightaway for A.J. Allmendinger. He'll see the white flag this time around. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
All right, AJ, just kind of cruise it right around, push it about 90%.
He's good to go. He's got 3 seconds. Don't lock him up. Don't miss a gear. What good's a lead if you don't use it?
Just go through your checklist items. Be a good point stay for him, of course. The way that Hill battled back and got those points, there's a bunch of front runners that you'll see later in the year. And days like today where you cash in on stage points and a good solid finish, it's
a happy day.
Oh, yeah.
First 4 races of the year in the Xfinity Series, we had 4 different winners. Last week, Ty Gibbs becomes the first repeat victor. But looking to make it 5 out of 6 today is A.J. Allmendinger. Looks for his first checkered flag of the season. And this is turn 11.
I can't stress how good A.J. is enough. Not only does he have speed, but he cycled himself to the back after they won the first stage and went through the field, and look at this car. Not a mark on it. Not a mark on it. He went through the whole field and didn't hurt his race car. So he's got racing knowledge and speed. That's why he wins these things.
And we talked to him on the radio, and we said, what's your game plan? And he's like, I just got to protect this car. I got to work my way back through. And you do it methodically, and you do it with a calculated type of effort. And that's what we're seeing here today.
This is one of the guys you'll be racing tomorrow in the Cup race. Double duty for AJ.
Good luck for me, huh?
I'm gonna look for him in my mirror. You know.
yeah.
Solid execution off turn 15. We've got carousel now. 16, 17, 18. There's like a quadruple apex through here to the right.
He was running full time in Cup, had won there. Started to hear the R word, retirement. Then he's running part-time for Matt Collig. He said, I'll go full-time in the Xfinity Series, and he's making the most of it. Championship 4 last year, and he's about to get his first win of 2022. He's the best on road courses. This is his 7th career road course victory. A.J. Allmendinger does it at Circuit of the Americas.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Great work.
You know that Collig made the right decision, and that whole group to put him in the car and put an effort forth. Is he already celebrating?
He went straight to donuts on top of the hill.
You may as
They're
well.
still coming at you, bud.
No cool down lap here. I'm just going straight to the burnout.
It's too long back around. He's just going to let them all go and come back backwards.
Nah, you want to savor this. You're going to take it around the 20 turns.
No, he is.
Way to go, AJ.
I love the emotion. Chris Rice, his emotion's amazing. AJ, when he comes out of the car, his emotion's going to be incredible as well. I love seeing that.
And
I work so hard for this stuff. You got to enjoy it.
But you saw Matt Collig there, the owner beside Chris. he's invested as well. He's not a distant owner. He is here and a part of the game virtually every weekend, and you hear the camaraderie and the family atmosphere that they have created in every one of these interviews.
Absolutely. Their culture, and we talk about team culture being so important. What I see from the outside looking in, I don't know much detail from the inside, but from the outside looking in, it sure seems like not only do the team guys work together, the drivers actually work together, and that's really hard to do.
And congratulations from Richard Childress. There's an alliance there, right? So they know working together.
In about 2 hours from now, that whole Colleague group, Justin Haley will be over there with Dinger, the trophy, and they'll be barbecuing, hanging out. I saw this at Road America last summer. They all get together as a group on a Saturday and hang out together like family.
Wow.
Hey, look at the top 10. Austin Hill second, his third top 2 of the year. Cole Custer battles back from the speeding penalty to finish third. Gregson was fourth. Mayer, after winning stage 2, comes home fifth. Myatt Snyder gets a 6th place finish, best run of the year there. Brett Moffitt, 7th, really good day for him in Our Motorsports. Jade Buford in the top 10, Miguel Paludo and Sheldon Creed.
Hey, I think that's Big Machine's best finish ever, with Buford putting on tires and coming back up, so congrats to them.
AJ's wife, Tara, who's Mrs. North Carolina. Does that make him Mr. North Carolina? What? I mean,
I believe
Mr.
so.
Road Course. No.
Oh, okay.
Road Course.
Mr. Road Course, the Dinger, Cat Daddy, because we know about their cat tickles. Mr. North Carolina, the man.
Dinger Nation. He's got more nicknames than I've ever heard in my life.
Today, we just need to call him Winner, right? Because he took care of business, no doubt about it.
Now, he always executes flawlessly on road courses, and today was no different. And the way that you can absorb as a fan or as an upcoming driver, these are the races that you want to just watch that one car all the way back through, and that's the 16 car.
I thought about this yesterday during practice. How much pressure for AJ in these races? Because it's just anticipated he's going to be the guy. Sometimes that creates confidence. Sometimes it creates some anxiety and pressure, right?
I'd rather be known as the guy, right? You earn that title by doing things that AJ did today. That's what I want. But I also love these road courses because it presents an amazing opportunity. You just ran down the top 10. Those cars aren't typically always consistently in the top 10. This is a great opportunity for them as well.
Yeah, you get those good surprises that show up for these races. But yeah, Dinger, there's no way he's got the anxiety level up at all. His heart rate was probably below 100.
Look at him bowing.
And by the way, this is a Dash for Cash qualifying race. So next week at Richmond, 4 drivers going for $100,000. AJ, of course, Austin Hill, Noah Gregson, and Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer is 18. What the heck would he do if he won a bonus $100,000?
Does he still live with his parents? He might. I was racing cups still living with my parents.
He'll have to share, right? Come on, bud, pay up. We supported your racing career.
I'll convince him to buy a boat and then go hang out with him. I like spending other people's money right now. That is great.
Colleague Racing started as a single car operation. Then they started winning races full-time. 2 cars, 3 cars, making the championship 4. Winning a cup race last year. And the winning, it never gets old for AJ Allmendinger. Regan Smith with our victor today.
Adam, you see the celebration. Team President Chris Rice giving AJ a hug. We'll let AJ get his helmet off here quick, but AJ, it looked like about as close to a perfect race as you could possibly have. You've had some great road races before. This one's got to rank right up there.
Yeah, it was, man, I was hard on myself yesterday. I was not happy with where I put ourselves, the setup that I made for us. But this Nutrien Ag Chevy was really good. You know, it was hard to drive. I had to drive it a certain way. But Action Industries, Lee Filter, everybody that allows us to do this, Xfinity for putting this great series on, Chevy, everybody. My wife, because she's got to put up with my whining every night about how bad I'm not, you know, I suck. So, Mom and Dad, I love you. Xena Tickles, all my friends and family. But, you know, honestly, it's all these men and women here at Colleague Racing, between the Cup side of it and the Xfinity side of it, they don't sleep during the week. They're busting their tails. And that's why I'm so freaking hard on myself sometimes, because they deserve to win more than anybody here. And I just want to do it for them. So thankfully, we got one done today.
AJ Allmendinger wins in Texas.
Well, Austin Hill told me that if they hit their marks, you can run with AJ and the boys up front, and you did, coming up just one spot short. What's your takeaway from today, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a solid effort for our global Chevy Camaro. Andy and all the guys at the shop, they did a heck of a job, building this piece and bringing it here. I've always felt like I can get around road courses. I felt like I proved it last year in the trucks, winning at Watkins Glen, and it just kind of built the confidence and momentum going forward to this year when we come to road courses that we could get the job done. So I guess AJ was just a little bit better than I was because I felt like we had a really good car. There was certain spots that I thought he was a little better than us, but yeah, I mean, it just shows that we can run with AJ, maybe make the car just a little bit better. And I think personally, as a driver, I need to work on a few things. I think he was just doing some things a little bit better than I was inside the cockpit. So we'll go back, debrief, and look it over and just see where I can be better as a driver on these road courses. But I love road course racing. We kept it clean. There was a few things that happened on track. I got a little frustrated with some other guys. But all in all, we were able to rebound. Andy did really good with the calls on pit road and everything, and just kind of jumping us back forward to gain the track position that we needed. So all in all, solid effort. Can't thank RCR, Chevrolet, Global for coming on board. I thought this car looked really cool, and we'll go get the job done next time.
Well done. Adam?
It was a fun day in Austin, Texas. Next up, we're short track racing in Richmond, Virginia. It happens next Saturday afternoon. We'll be live on FS1. Tomorrow, it's all about the NASCAR Cup Series. Race day on FS1 at 2, over to Fox at 3. And then we're racing on the road course at Circuit of the Americas. It happens at 3:30 Eastern Time. For Coleman Presley, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Regan Smith, and Jamie Little, I'm Adam Alexander. Congratulations, A.J. Allmendinger.
We are the ones at the top of the mountain, climb tighten the buckle. One with the right crowd that likes to rumble. Hold a nice crown, it's hard to be humble. We welcome you now to our arena. If you don't know by now, it's hard to beat us. You can tell by our demeanor how hard we leaning. Leave a lasting impression on who is the best, and there won't be a question. You will remember our name when you see it in lights. We are the champions. We are the champions. We will fight through the pain. We'll be legends tonight. We are the champions. We are the champions.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.